And we're going to get back to our telephones right here, right now, and say hello to, how about Warren? Hello, Warren.
Hello, Bob. Phony Warren from Bed-Stuy.
No, this is not the original Warren.
No, Bob, I would appreciate it if you would...
Why do you feel it necessary to imitate Warren?
Well, if you would let me speak, I can tell you why.
I mean, it isn't too bad an imitation, but do you do anybody else besides Warren?
No, Bob, this is very serious. You're not taking this serious.
Yeah, it is serious. It's serious and pathetic that you feel it necessary to imitate Warren of Bed-Stuy.
Bob, anyone who...
As a matter of fact, we have, thanks to a new innovation, we have the ability to check the general area, not the specific area, but the general area of your phone call. You're not even in Bed-Stuy.
Bob, I am no longer claiming to be the real Warren from Bed-Stuy. Now, if you would please...
Oh, you're coming clean. Well, then why did you start out by saying you were Warren from Bed-Stuy?
Started out by calling myself the Phony Warren from Bed-Stuy.
All right. Make sure that everybody knows you said Phony Warren from Bed-Stuy.
Now, anyone who is familiar with your program and has been listening for as long as I have knows that since your program has moved to the afternoon hours, that the real Warren hardly, if ever, calls. Well, maybe he's too busy, or maybe he thinks he's too good to call in anymore, but we all love the real Warren and miss him a great deal.
Now, on that we can agree.
Now, I think I've been listening to your program long enough, and I've heard enough Warren from Bed-Stuy calls that I know how he thinks, and I know how he would feel about certain issues, and I think maybe, just maybe, I could help fill the vacuum caused by the absent Warren.
All right. Okay, now, with this honest approach, I have no problem. We'll call you Warren number 2.
Well, I would really appreciate that, Bob, because I feel that your audience deserves a phony Warren, if no Warren at all.
All right, now that I like. Warren number 2, what community are you calling from?
I call from Brooklyn. I would rather not state my community. Okay, I am calling from Bensonhurst. I'm being completely honest with you.
I know you are. Because the honing device that we have does suggest Bensonhurst. Or it could even be, no, it is Bensonhurst. Yeah.
Well, now, I am not prepared with any kind of, I'm sure when the real Warren calls, he's prepared with material, but I was just hoping that you would accept me. And maybe you could possibly tell us, your audience, the whereabouts of the real Warren.
The real Warren is still residing in Bed-Stuy. He's still attempting to tilt at windmills. He is still the Don Quixote of Bed-Stuy. And he listens to the program, but isn't able to call because he doesn't always have access to a phone during the hours that we're on. That's number 1. Number 2, sometimes he is near a phone but chooses not to call because he feels he has nothing to say at that particular moment, although that I find hard to believe.
Well, I would like to apologize to him personally because he did call in at one time and did express himself and said that he was very angry with me. And
that's right.
I didn't mean for him to get angry.
Well, his anger will now turn to a feeling of great pride because you compliment him now. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's true, Bob.
And I want to congratulate you on coming clean.
Well, I appreciate it, Bob, and I hope you would appreciate me calling in at future times, and hopefully we could get something going. But I really hope that the real Warren gets off his butt and starts calling in.
Okay. Let's say hello to Warren. Hello, Warren.
Hello, Bob. Phony Warren from Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, Warren. Oh, the phony Warren.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't it sad, folks? The real Warren doesn't call, but at least we got the phony Warren.
Well, he's probably too busy pontificating to the bartender. But I think I can...
No, I don't think he hangs around in saloons. I don't think so.
Well, who knows? I mean, who knows where the guy is?
I wish he'd come back.
Yeah. Concerning the Jennifer Levin murder case, according to Robert Chambers, Jennifer Levin was very persistent with him and persuaded him to take a walk in Central Park with her.
Even if that were so, does this justify his murdering her? Of course.
To all of that.
Yeah.
Now, all the while, he just wanted to go home. at some point in that conversation, she apparently went off to the side to urinate, therefore removing her panties. Now remember, this is all according to Mr. Chambers. Miss Levin was too dead to give her side of the story. When she came back, she somehow managed to tie his hands behind his back with her panties.
Yeah, boy, there's nothing that'll tie your hands tighter than a pair of panties. Yeah.
At this point, she sat on his chest and began to masturbate him while he struggled profusely to free himself. Then, Mr. Chambers says, for some reason, she began to squeeze his penis, causing him great pain, enough so that he managed to break the bond behind his back, grab her by the neck.
I stay right where you are. We have another interruption. Stay there, Warren.
This is a live special report from ABC News. Well, this has been a live special report from ABC News.
All right, Warren, you stay right where you are. I want to hear more of this. It's an outrage that the Chamber's defense attorney is pursuing this. It's absolute outrage. I want to get in touch with the Levin family to let them know that there's one person in the media, at least one, that is not taken in by this garbage. You stay right there. It's 5:30. Gene Swan in WABC Shadow Traffic. All right, Warren, are you still there?
Yeah, Bob, I just got to tell you, your 5 to 6 o'clock hour is completely shot to hell. I mean, between news reports, traffic reports, commercials, and this prudential financial dot com, what is this? People tune in to hear you.
I agree, but, somehow or other, there's a condition known as mindset, and people in the industry, we can't just indict the program director here, he means well, but people in the industry have a mindset that at so-called drive time, it's mandatory that you do these things regardless of who is doing the program.
Yeah.
So we just try to do the best we can.
Okay, now back to what I was saying. She started to squeeze his penis, and because of this, he managed to untie his hands. He managed to break the bond, lock his arm around her neck, and throw her over his body. And remember, this guy is about a foot taller than her and about 100 pounds heavier. So just think how long it would take for him to get her off him. Now, according to the police report, he had to have applied pressure on her neck for at least 20 seconds. Now, if you were to forget everything else and just take this one aspect of his rap, anybody with a brain would say, hey, this guy's lying. He's making it up. And as far as Cardinal O'Connor supporting this guy, I always thought the church was against premarital sex. I always thought the church was against stealing, and the guy is a thief.
Well, I don't know whether it's fair to say that Cardinal O'Connor is supporting the guy.
Well, he's backing him up ever since I thought it was him who even helped get him out of prison.
No, I don't think it was Cardinal O'Connor. I think you have to go to the Archbishop of Newark for that.
Okay, but anyway, I'm talking about just, the church in general.
Warren, I agree with you 100% in the thrust of your comment. I also want to point out that it's outrageous that a defense attorney representing this guy, this punk, this overgrown punk, it's outrageous that he actually wants to subpoena the late Jennifer Levin's diary.
Diary, yes.
He's trying to put Jennifer Levin on trial. And if society allows that to happen, then it is a total miscarriage of justice. I'm not talking about the guilt or innocence of the murderer. I'm talking about the fact that he wants to murder Jennifer, the attorney wants to murder Jennifer Levin a second time.
And think of what the family has to go through.
First she was murdered brutally, needlessly, wantonly in the park. Secondly, her character is going to be murdered. Now, if this is the way a defense attorney is allowed to operate, then that doesn't say much about the criminal justice system. I don't, the judge said he's going to think about it, but I don't see that this has any place in the trial.
And you know something, Bob? With all this hype and publicity shtick, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if this guy gets off.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets off. I wouldn't be surprised. This is a classic case of, well, I'll tell you something. It's the type of thing that if you think about too long, you get sick. Because all I think about is this poor Jennifer Levin in her much too early grave, not here to defend herself. And day in and day out, her character is maligned, libeled, day in, day out. And I just can't believe that any defense attorney would want to do that. But then I guess if you want to get your client off, you'll stop at nothing. Thank you for the call.
Wait, Bob?
Yes?
Can I make one more comment, please?
Yes.
Quickly. Warren, if you're out there listening and you're coherent enough or sober enough to understand what I'm saying, I see no reason for you to ever call this program again. You apparently have nothing to say anymore, and besides, I'll do a better you than you could ever do. You could just crawl into your bottle and stay there.
Oh, come on now. The original Warren doesn't drink.
Well, where is he? What's his problem? Why can't he call in?
Well,
why can't he pick up the phone and call in?
All right, we'll find out.
I just want him to know that I'm the new Warren on this program. I heard a piece of that, but why do you encourage that, Bob? Do you encourage that? I haven't been...
Oh, no, I defended you at that time.
Oh.
However, when Al of New Jersey called a little while ago and talked about a Bob Grant old-fashioned get-together like we used to have in the good old days, he said, and Warren of Bed-Stuy would be there. I said, no, I think Warren of Bed-Stuy has retired. And I'm glad you proved that you have not retired.
Listen. If I hear something on the radio and I'd like to respond, you know I listen to you and I call you regularly. You know that.
Well, some people like you to just check in, Warren.
Listen, if I pick up the phone at, let's say, 3 o'clock, and I dial 1-212-877-9222, and I listen to the phone ring for like an hour, I'm going to do that twice. After that, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
All right. In other words, a lot of times...
It's not that I'm not listening. It's not that I would not like to call in. But it's very difficult to get through sometimes. And I've said that to you many times before, and it's the truth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, would you please remember what Warren of Bed-Stuy is saying so you don't start saying to me whatever happened to him. He's there.
And please, this ersatz Warren, this is getting to be ridiculous with this guy.
We'll have to have you guys on at the same time to make sure that you're two different people.
Well, do you see that I'm the real Warren now?
Of course, it's obvious.
Okay, good. Now, let me make a few comments about this Iranian thing.
All right.